Well, good evening. I'm Robert A. Wilson with Cowboy Wisdom Hypnoacuity. Hypnoacuity is keenness of listening, vision, and inspiration. What acuity does, though, hypnoacuity, it alleviates the thought of therapy and trying to be fixed. It actually opens your eyes to experience your desired life. Tonight I want to talk about I Boss Chaos. I woke into this the last couple days, but all the chaos and all the negativity in my life I created through my circle of influence and just society. Because I taught myself if it was going haywire or awry, it was my fault and the world was against me. Well, when chaos arrives, it's a celebration. It's a celebration of something ending, and you're clearing the way on your trails of triumph. But I'd get so caught up into it, and then I'd dramatize it and traumatize it, and I'd carry it with me all my life. That is the thing. We carry drama, trauma, chaos, and all the unsavory events in our mind because they're more in the mind because they're more prevalent and they have more energy, because the other stuff is just what it is. As I awaken to understand that it's up to me to open up my eyes to myself and to expand of life and to really open up who I am and where I'm going and stop being caught up in yesterday. As I open up to this, I really expand of newness and seeing where I'm going and using the ideas and the wisdom to move myself forward. I'm moving myself onward and upward rather than being caught up in yesterday. And so as I awaken to this, I really start to understand. I expand of something new, but we're open now to the real ideas of life, and we're expanding of new ideas and forefronts in our life, and we're actually going forward. And see, before something like this happened, I would be all caught up and all wrapped up in something else than rather than being what it is and being charged and taking care of this. Well, it's just like life. Things like to play games. And that is where we get caught up in life. And just like this, things happen. And it just doesn't. And we do it to ourselves. And just like this, I did it to myself. And so here we go forward. And I'm not going to let something like this interfere with the boss being chaos. This is actually what letting chaos be the boss. Get all up front and worried about what other people think, but I don't care. I'm going to go forward and onward with this presentation because I've let chaos own me. And I have to admit to that. I have let chaos own me, and everybody has. But really, what I really starting to understand is it didn't only boss us, it controlled us. We started looking for what is wrong in life and what's going to happen now and all this stuff. I was guilty as ever on that. But now, today, in the last week, I've awoken to understand negativity wouldn't exist in the world if it wasn't for mankind. Mankind has done this. Human beings have created all the negativity in the world. And that is where we grow up, and through the school system, my parents, childhood, everything. That's where I ingrained all my negativity. Negativity is self-taught. And I got a book called How Did I Teach Myself Fear? Now is why do I live in the negativity of myself? There are questions I have to ask. And what am I afraid to let go of? Because negativity is a comfort zone and a familiar zone. Everything that goes on in life is a familiar zone. If we keep redoing it, it's our comfort zone and familiar zone. And to go forward, you have to draw a line on a piece of paper and write yesterday and write now. Because wisdom is the now. Knowledge is yesterday's experiences. It doesn't say move you forward. It's the wisdom is of the now. Know is of yesterday. And that's it. We're going to think and know our way to yesterday. And when we have to open up and step out into the terra incognita, or the land of the unfamiliar and unknown, that's when we become frustrated, because chaos is actually a boot into the trail of triumph, because we have no clue where we're going. And that's where the world is right now. We still use prehistoric, outdated warmongering to move forward. It's like the Ukraine and Russia. They're afraid to have a conversation. And that's where the world is. We're afraid to have a conversation of ideas because we have this masculine energy. If we compromise, we look weak. So if we stay strong and we have a war, we look strong. And that's something else that really I invited myself to understand. You know, when we was going into Iraq, there was talk radio show hosts that were all for the war, but yet they was young enough to go to the military, but they stayed on the radio sounding tough. And that's the thing about the world. We'll follow tough talkers, but when somebody starts walking their talk, we shy away from them. Guilty as charged sometimes, sometimes not. But here's the thing about chaos. Chaos, challenges, and unsavory, untimed events, they're here to expand us. Every event in my life I've ever encountered was to expand me. But instead, I fell into the pity me, victimitis, crapitis, and got a shitty outlook on life. And that was me. So when I let go of that and I opened up to chaos, chaos is not what I thought chaos was. Chaos is a dead end. Fear is a door. And untimed, unsavory events, that's about letting go of something that's matured and we're time to move on. However, that is a lot easier said than done, because it's an attachment. We've been taught to be attached to everything in our lives. Attached to our childhood, attached to this, and I'm guilty as charged. But this is liberation when you understand, I boss chaos. Just say that to yourself. And that is a bold, optimistic, sassy, savvy, celebrating Hellraiser's audacity, opening the success of you. It's an inner success we get to enjoy, that we really have fun with and really get to expand of and enjoy all of our life. So it's really about letting go of everything we think we know. Because what do we really, really know? And if you can take the word know out of your life and put the word understand in there, I understand my life to this point. I expand of this wisdom to energize this innovation, to enterprise my dreams, to experience my life with galvanized gusto. It's really about letting go of yesterday. Because yesterday's dead and gone, this morning's dead and gone, every day's gone like yesterday's dawn, like today's dawn. And that is where we get so caught up in chaos and the challenges, because life is a mystical, magical mess. That's my entertaining savvy surprises me with new wisdom to move forward. But life is a mess. And you know, that's what it is. It's always something that has to happen or occur to make people move forward in a better way. Chaos has never been here to control us or to harm us. Chaos in our personal life has been there to open up canonized, hellacious acumen, opening the savvy within you to query and question your way through. See, that's the thing about chaos and challenges. You're never going to know your way through the now. It's questions, inquisitive. It's being the private investigator of your dreams, because your dreams are your true talent. but your dreams are also a dare to be rare and show your rare breed credence, to celebrate your life. And that's something we've never been taught, is to celebrate life. We always are looking for what is going on in life. We're trying to live it through yesterday and everything we know, and everything we know has never ever got us past yesterday. And that's something I've really expanded into. You got to get it beyond yesterday. You got to get it into the now. And when we let chaos boss us, we go into yesterday and we go into the fears and the tribulations, and we go backwards in life. And that's like hindsight. Hindsight is a fallacy. When you say, I should have done this in a situation, that's foresight to expand you going forward. But we've been taught to talk in hindsight and looking back. When you look forward, you're fostering omnific, revolutionary wisdom, appreciating riches, dancing today. But we got to look forward instead of backwards. But if you look at the world, we've lived in the same thing since the beginning of time. And that's what we've done. We lived in the same thing. You know, medicine and things have progressed, but you look at the world as a whole, a lot has never changed. It stays the same. Somebody did something to me. Well, and that's true. But did they do it to you, or did they do it for you? Because when somebody takes advantage of somebody, that's a karmic debt. Somebody, you will pay that karmic debt. And that's going to be an unsavory education. And usually the person that you reach for is somebody you screwed over in life. And that's what we really have to move forward and look for. Because life is forever expanding. And see, we're looking for change. You can put two things in, something in one hand and something in the other hand, put them together, that's change. But when you want to expand, you got to add something. You expand to the grandeur within yourself. And you stop playing in yesterday. And that's the biggest thing we don't have to. We open up to letting chaos canonize the Hellraiser's audacity, opens the stupendous talents within ourselves. People are so much more talented than we give ourselves credit for. Everybody's got a song, a book, or something to expand the world. But we've been taught if it don't fit right into the boundaries of society, you're untalented. That's a lie. That's the biggest lie we've ever been told. Your talents are beyond your society-trained mind, your socialized mind, and society's boundaries. And that's something I'm going to clear up right now, and if I offend somebody, I'm fine with that. If I don't, that's fine too. There's one boundary that I've really learned that really stops all the crap. And it's just, you say it to yourself, and I apologize, but this is what it is. Fuck that, no thank you, I'm moving on. And it just gives you the power to move on and not be caught up in the bullshit. And that's the thing, you gotta have some risk takers tenacity to expand up. And if you lose a friend along the way, they really weren't your friends. And I've really learned there's a lot of friends that played the lip service, but weren't really friends when it comes down to it. And I'll show you how I learned that. When I moved a couple times, me and my wife and stepson moved, I didn't see anybody. But when they needed help, I helped them. So that's when you learn who your friends are. It's like that song. You know who your friends are when they get off the couch and stuff. If they don't get off the couch and help you, they're not a friend. And I've done that more than once, got out and helped people. And that's fine. You know, that's the way it is. But it's really about stopping letting chaos boss you, and you boss the chaos to open your new trails of triumph. And I am Robert A. Wilson with Cowboy Wisdom, Hypnoacuity. My website's mycowboywisdom.com. My email is robert@mycowboywisdom.com. And I have had a lot of success with pain liberation. Anyway, thank you and good night.